Well, and good morning to the first edition of Gina's Garage. I'm Gina Jameson with Cat Country 106. Now, Gina's Garage is sponsored by Claunch's Tire and Service on Main Street in Burley. Anything and everything automotive that you need, definitely go on and see Dennis and the guys over at Claunch's Tire and Service. So for this first episode, we're going to just talk about what's going on underneath the hood of your car. I will preface all of this by saying I am not a certified mechanic, never have been. I gained all of my automotive industry just because of my family. My dad was a diesel mechanic, owned an auto parts store, worked at a dealership. I've worked at a dealership, I've worked at auto body shops and at parts stores. Hi, Jacques. And then, of course, James, he has his own auto body shop. So I know my way around a vehicle. I do a lot of the basic maintenance on my own vehicles myself. If anything gets over and above my head, or I just choose not to do it, I always take it to a certified mechanic like over at Claunch's Tire and Service. So with all of that said, we're going to go and kind of pop underneath the hood of my car. Now, this is a 2007 Pontiac Grand Prix. Most of the majority of the cars that I own are Chevrolet based, and I happen to be a Pontiac fanatic. So these are just kind of the vehicles that are easier for me to work on. I always suggest that you refer to your owner's manual. If you do not have your owner's manual, search around. Maybe you can buy one online, but your owner's manual is key and paramount for all of the information that you're going to need to know about taking care of your vehicle. Because if you look inside your owner's manual, you're going to see a little maintenance section, and you can go through there and it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. So this is my car. It's a little on the dirty side, but this is my 2007 Pontiac Grand Prix. It's a V6 automatic. It's got the 3.8 series V6 in it. And so if you're going to be poking around your engine, there's some things that you should always do at least once a week, and that's always check your fluids and things like that. So, oops. Now, we should always keep our engine compartment clean. Hi, Jacques. You're going to get my cat Jacques in here. So you should always keep your engine compartment clean. Mine is mostly clean, and there's a reason behind this. Because if you have a leak, maybe a gasket is leaking, maybe you're dripping oil somewhere, maybe you have got antifreeze spewing everywhere. You need to know these things. You need to be able to visually see that. So if you keep your engine compartment clean, it kind of helps out with just the visuals of what's going on with your engine. So this is the engine cover that comes on and off, super simple. First and foremost, you want to know where you put the oil. Now, this is where you're going to always want to put your oil. You'll see that little oil sign there, and it'll also tell you, most cars anyway, will tell you what kind of oil you need. Mine's 5W30. I just had my oil changed about a week and a half ago, so this still should be good. And my car's cold, so you'll see that I'm at proper oil level. My oil is nice and an amber color. It's not black, so we're good to go there. And if you'll notice, there's little holes and lines on there. That's going to kind of an indicator of where your oil level is. So if you get down to here, you need to add a quart of oil. If you're up to here, you're perfectly fine. So that is your oil. Next, you always want to check is your antifreeze. Now, some systems are sealed, so you cannot get into your actual radiator. There is a reservoir. So for those vehicles, you would always check your reservoir. For me, I actually can access my radiator, and since my car is cold, I will pop it open, maybe. There we go. And to see if you're at proper level, sounds like I need some antifreeze. So I will address that. Other things you always want to check is your battery cables. Mine are getting just slightly corroded. You can fix that with a little bit of baking soda and just scrub it off, because your battery cables and the acid that comes off of that is highly corrosive. So you always want to make sure that you check your battery cables to make sure that they're nice and sturdy. This is for your washer reservoir, because we always need to have clean windshields. So that's for your washer reservoir. That's where your washer fluid goes in. Now, this is also connected to the radiator. This is your overflow. On this particular car, if the car gets too hot and it wants to purge antifreeze, it's going to purge into there. Then once the engine cools down, it will suck back into the radiator. So I'm going to leave that off so I can put in some more antifreeze. What else do we have that you need to know? This is your air cleaner. So for your air cleaner, this is how your car breathes. This particular car has, it's a fuel injected V6, so there's no carburetor. Some of my older vehicles have carburetors, but this does not. So this is how your vehicle breathes. You always want to make sure that whenever you take your car in for a service, that they actually check your air cleaner. Because if you've got a dirty air cleaner, your car's not going to breathe that well. You're not going to get that great of gas mileage. So this is something very, very important that you need to know. Right here, this is your brake fluid. Now mine is up in a proper temperature or proper level. You can tell when you get low, but this is for your brake fluid. You always want to make sure that you get the .3 or whatever your specific vehicle requires. Different manufacturers have different synthetic blends and things like that. So always make sure that you look at that. And if that's low, then you put it up to proper level so you actually can have some brakes. Trying to find my power steering pump. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, here's your transmission. This is another thing that you want to, now when you're checking your transmission, okay, so when you check your oil, always make sure that when you check your oil, your engine is cold. That way you're gonna get proper level. For your transmission fluid, you always want to check it when your engine is running and warm and up to temperature, because then that will give you the proper level of your transmission fluid. Transmission fluid expands when it's hot, and then it condenses when it's cold. So I'm actually at good level. It'll tell me there's the max fill line, that's your add. But I can't really give you a proper indicator because my car is cold and it is not running. So again, if you have any questions, maybe you are not familiar with your vehicle, always refer to your owner's manual. Do not be afraid to lift the hood of your car. Whether you're a novice, maybe you're just a beginning driver, they should, I think, honestly still teach this stuff in driver's ed. I don't know. It's been, well, I'm not going to tell you how long it's been since I've taken driver's ed. But these are things that you should always do, like I said, at least once a week. Get familiar with your vehicle. So when you have an engine light that pops on, then you'll kind of know what you need to poke around with. And if it gets over your head, as always, take it to a certified mechanic like the guys over at Claunch Tire and Service on Main Street in Burley. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about what kind of tools you should probably carry with you in the trunk of your car for those just-in-case moments, because they do happen. And then in another episode, we'll also be talking about proper tire care, because without tires, you're not going anywhere. So that's it for the first episode of Gina's Garage, brought to you by Claunch Tire and Service on Main Street in Burley. Make sure you stop on by and tell them hello.